We're here at the start of Dire Maul North, and I'm going to solo it on my rogue. We're going to go in and kill King Gordok. That'll get us access to Dire Maul buffs totally on our own that we can put into our Chrono Boon Displacer. It'll get us access to the Stomper Kreeg vendor, who's right out of there, over there, but he's a little far away, so he's not loaded in. He sells volatile rum. That's pretty valuable. And also, it'll get us a chance at the Ace of Warlords, which is used to make the Dark Moon card Heroism, which is basically a required item if you're trying to do solo AoE boosting at the Scourge invasions on a rogue. You need this item to heal yourself enough, so it's become quite scarce as people have started to want to do that. So if you can get it solo, that is great. I think for this run, I'm a bit over-geared on this character, but I'm intentionally not using any gear from Naxxramas. I've got 4 pieces of tier 2 tanking armor from the Undermine Reels, so that's pretty easy to get. I mean, that's basically free. That's giving us the 4-piece bonus. Rolling with the Punches also grants you 20% increased armor from items per stack. This is basically doubling our armor. The part of the gear that's a little bit harder to get is 4 pieces of Death Dealer's tanking set from Temple of Ahn'Qiraj. Both of these bonuses are really good. The 2-piece bonus makes it so you hit 2 targets with your Sinister Strike when you pair it with Main Gouge, and the 4-piece bonus makes you heal for 15% of the damage done by Sinister Strike. So also, if you're hitting 2 targets, it's kind of like you're healing for 30% of the damage of Sinister Strike. It's very good, and that provides most of our, self-healing for a lot of our soloing adventures. And then the remainder of the items are mostly tank items. We got Onyxia Blood Talisman, Dragon Slayer Necklace, we have the 3-piece Veiled Shadows set, and we have a basic, tanking build with mostly combat points and a little bit of assassination here. And that's going to be the setup. We can stealth through here. We don't need any special materials, we don't need to make the Ogre suit. We don't need to make the Frost Trap. We just need to avoid the Mastiffs and the Patrolling Guard here. We got that key in the middle. That lets us open this door. Our lockpicking skill will let us open the door later on in the instance. We're going to have to look out for these guys also, the Wandering Eye of Kilrog. Those can ruin our day too, but they're basically, they'll see through stealth, and when they aggro you, they'll start summoning some Void Walkers. You just have to kill them before they summon any of those Void Walkers. For the shoulder rune, I have a Butcher equipped. That's going to make my Sinister Strikes do 20% more damage. If you don't have 4 pieces of Death Dealer, hang on, this thing's coming. No! Honestly, I probably could have just killed that guy, but, we can also just vanish. Let me equip Filcher's Cowl, gives me a little more stealth level. This comes from your Honor Among Thieves rune quest. 3 stealth levels on the cloaks. Very good, makes it easier to stealth through stuff. Anyways, right, I have Butcher. That's the tier 2 4-piece DPS bonus. 20% bonus damage on Sinister Strike. What I was saying was, if you don't have 4 pieces of Death Dealer tank set, you probably put the 4-piece bonus onto your shoulder. That's the one that makes Sinister Strike heal you. If you only have 2 pieces of the set, you can get the 2-piece bonus from equipping it, and then the 4-piece bonus from using the shoulder soul called Bloodthirsty. And that'll get you there. For the most part, my gear is tank-oriented gear with tanking stats on it. We got a little Clobber Club from Karazhan. That's a very good main hand weapon. Okay, this thing's gonna... Okay, these guys are gonna fight me now. Reaction Potion. Okay, we're dead. I'm not doing another take. But, yeah, the lesson learned there is probably pay more attention to where the eyeballs are, and make sure you fight them in spots where you're not going to aggro other stuff when you kill them. Otherwise, this happens. Definitely too busy yapping about stuff and not focused enough on doing that run safely. Project Remy, hello, how's it going? Says, my friend's guild told me I could join for AQ40 as guild run as a fresh 60. Is there any specific item I want to prio more than others? If you're trying to be a damage dealer rogue and you're going into Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, I think I would prioritize getting the tier token pieces. That'd be the Qiraji Bindings of Sovereignty, get you shoulders and boots. The Intact Viscera gets you leggings and helmet. And then the Skin of the Old God gets you the chest piece. Those are things that drop pretty often. You're likely, not guaranteed, but likely to see them drop. And they give you some pretty powerful items. So that's what I'd be looking for. If I was a fresh character, I'd be looking for consistent upgrades. I wouldn't be trying to chase, like, hard-to-get items. Or rarer items. Yeah, so I think the main thing, I didn't really respect the Wandering Eye of Kilrogg, and also I thought I would do better against those trash mobs. I didn't think those trash mobs would actually mess me up as much as they did. Crimson Tempest, Unfair Advantage, Sword. This should be Mace. This could be Shuriken Toss. I didn't have any weapon poisons on. Frankly, I thought I was going to get all the way to the end and then, you know, put on items that were effective in combat. So let me think about where are good spots to fight each of the eyes. The first eye in the hallway between Fengus and Slipkick, you just have to fight him between the ogre packs. There's 2 ogre packs in that hallway. Then you enter into Slipkick's room where there are bugs. You should be able to get it either before the first ogre pack or between the first and second ogre pack without aggroing any of the ogres. And then for that second eye, it basically covers all of Slipkick's patrol range. Damn, these things aggroed. But because I'm up here, they're evading. Oh, that guy's gonna frostbolt me, though. It's annoying. Am I not line of sighting him? There we go. Now I'm line of sighting him. He's reset. This guy aggroed. Up on this ledge, like, they won't attack you, but the caster, if it's in line of sight, like you could see, would still shoot me. So I had to go around this edge. Let's see. Did I make the mistake of not bringing any healing items with me? Yeah, okay. We'll heal by eating grilled squid. Yeah, I mean, with the eyes, you either have to kill them or, like, wait until deliberate points in their patrol where you could avoid them. And either way, like, you have to wait until they're in either good spots to skip them or good spots to kill them. I don't think there's really any strategy where, like, you just hold W and regardless of where it's patrolling, you get through. Do you think Mark the Champion is worth running on the DPS version of the Invasion Clear? Is the ZG Energy Trinket a bet? I think they're both fine options. You can run either one. I did a lot of different setups and really, like, I did my best to narrow it down to what the essential things are. Focus attacks Helm Rune, focus attacks Helm Rune, Phantom Knives Cloak Rune, Wind Striker in the offhand, Dark Moon card Heroism Trinket. Those are the essentials. You can make anything else work. And there's a lot of things that are maybe, like, strongly recommended, like having black belt bonus, but, like, that's it. Do whatever else you want. It's obvious, like, we came up with so many different configurations that were within 1,000 DPS of each other. It's really obvious that you could just do what you want on that. Shame the servo arm doesn't proc like we were hoping for. I haven't seen anyone using servo arm with Fan of Knives. I have not seen any data for that. So I would like to know. It seems like you know, or something. So if you have like a damage log of someone AoE farming the invasions with a servo arm, I would be interested in seeing that. Alright, let's wait for this guy. Move around a little bit. We'll make it up the ramp here. Dusty Tome? Screw the Dusty Tome. Those books aren't even valuable. No, we're just moving on. I already had one embarrassing death. I'm not looting some bullshit item I don't care about, opening myself up to another embarrassing death. Alright, now we need to kill these two mobs. So I need to equip gear that's actually good for fighting. I'm gonna do that. Potency is gonna go there. Poison Knife is fine. This should be Mace Rune. UA, I like that. Main Gouge, I like that. Deadly Brew, but we will put Sebaceous Poison over there. Yep, should be good. Nope. I was afraid that was gonna happen. I don't know if I needed to press evasion here. Probably didn't. Yeah, so these guys do physical damage to me. The pack I aggroed before was 2 Warlocks and 2 Doom Guards that did almost entirely magical damage to me. So I couldn't parry it, I couldn't dodge it, and also I didn't have all the, like, gear set up properly. But anyways, they're dead now. Sometimes a treasure chest spawns in that pack. I was looking for it. Once we get the King buff, we'll be able to double back and just loot all the treasure chests. Because once you have the King buff, none of these mobs will attack you. Oh, and the Dusty Tome. Okay, fine. We'll get the Dusty Tome. Resist there. We're gonna wait on Distract again before we pass this guy. I think we're gonna try to pass the left side of this room, as I remember being better for stealthing through. Oogie says, I have Thunder Fury, Hungering Cold, Clobber Club, and AQ-20 Dagger. Which weapon combination should I use? Well, I'm going to guess that you're trying to deal damage in raids, and I'm going to guess that you're trying to play Saber Slash in raids. If those guesses are right, I would put Hungering Cold in your main hand and AQ20 Dagger in your offhand and run the, like, 3-piece Veiled Shadows set. But, you know, if you were doing something else, like you were trying to tank or you were trying to solo stuff or you're trying to do whatever, then that could all be very different. I want to wait on a distract again. For rankings. I don't know what kind of rankings. You're probably talking about, oh, tanking. Okay, that's different. Yeah, I'd probably put Thunder Fury in your main hand and AQ20 Dagger in your offhand. Thunder Fury is a very good tanking weapon. This is part of my job as a Twitch streamer. I get asked a lot of questions with insufficient context to actually answer them, and then I have to make assumptions about what people are trying to do. Sometimes my assumptions are not correct. Bugged Up Boy coming in with a tier 1. Thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription. I appreciate that support. Hope you're having a great day. Alright, we're here. We're at King Gordok. Let me double check. Do I want to do anything different? I just want to use a free action potion on him. And then I want to tank him as close to Cho Rush as I can. And I think I want to kill these before I aggro the boss. Yeah, these are not hard. Mastiff Jawbone for 16 silver. I believe I'm put in combat due to these guys over here. I've used stealth in here. These are basically the only version of target dummies that you get in Classic and Season of Discovery. You can just hit these as long as you want. They don't die, they don't fight back, they don't even turn to face you. But yeah, as long as you haven't killed the king, you can be here and you can just attack these things. You can level weapon skills on them. You can practice rotations. You can collect like data on like proc rates of weapons. They're basically the target dummies of you know, classic WoW. Proper target dummies didn't get added until Burning Crusade in the major towns. I'm just waiting like 15 more seconds for this evasion, and then we'll run in and blast. The Blasted Lands mobs, well, the problem with those is they hit you back and they also face you. So you have to, like, you can't just, like, start hitting the mob and go AFK because it'll kill you. Target dummies in Tanaris, yeah, those exist in Season of Discovery, but they're immune to a lot of different mechanics. I think they're immune to, like, almost all magical damage. Okay, let's see how this goes. I've never done this before. The reason I want to put these guys together is so that my 2-piece bonus makes Sinister Strike hit 2 targets, and then that's going to make the 4-piece bonus heal me for even more. The free action potion is going to negate his War Stomp, and I'm just going to hope that I kill him before that wears off, before he stuns me outside of that. Otherwise, I might want to equip a Dark Heart of Darkness if I think I'm going to get, you know, stunned. Like, I would remove the stun with this thing. But let's give it a go. I'm not going to finish this guy fast enough. I'm actually going to die. Vanish. Okay, we're going to have to try something else. That did not work. We got him to about 3/4. I think I maybe, like, took too much damage from Cho Rush. Alright, let's re-strategize here. I'm glad I didn't die. Nuke the caster, then vanish, then solo Gordok. They have significantly different health pools, right? Need to kick Fireball. I don't believe I can crowd control either of them. I know Cho Rush can spawn as different, like, types of caster. Like, he can spawn as a mage or a priest. Yeah, maybe let's try that. We'll wait for Vanish to come up, and we'll go for Cho Rush first. There's about King Gordok has like 50% more health than Cho Rush, and I'd imagine Cho Rush being a caster has less armor as well. He has a mana bar, King Gordok doesn't. Usually a good indicator that the mob has less armor. So yeah, I think that strategy will work well. We kill Cho Rush, then we vanish, then we kill Gordok. Cho Rush can be stunned, sap, or sheep. We could try opening on Cho Rush with a sap. I don't think it will work, but it will be good to try. Either way, we're going to have to wait for our Vanish cooldown before we make another attempt, because I do not want to die and have to run back through the entire instance. And basically, our plan is to Vanish anyways. Like, we're going to kill Cho Rush, Vanish, and then, like, heal up, and then go in for King Gordok. Can heal up a little bit with Grilled Squid. Try to move to a spot where I wouldn't aggro the ghosts on the sides or any of the mobs, so I wouldn't be put in combat. Yeah, when we go again, we'll try opening with sap on Cho Rush, and if we can just sap Cho Rush, we'll just send it on King Gordok then. Although, it seemed to me like I should probably run the, like, PvP trinket. The Dark Heart of Darkness removes all movement impairing effects. You can get this effect elsewhere. You can get it on your, like, regular PvP trinket. You can get a 2-minute cooldown version from the Blood Moon event now. I think I'm going to run this instead, and then have, never mind, I don't have any major healing potions in my inventory. That's what I was gonna go for, was a major healing potion. Alright, minute 20 left on Vanish, 50 seconds left on Evasion. We can probably go once, like, Evasion's up, and it'll be fine. People try this. If you get put in combat, you can log out and back into... Oh, yeah, if you get combat from the ghosts, you can log out and log back in, and you'll be out of combat, as long as you, like, log out far away from the ghosts, so you don't immediately re-aggro them. Should it be free action potion? Because, like, I don't have anything else to use here. Maybe it should be Drake Fang for a little more power. I think I'd run Dark Moon card Heroism, but I kind of... Like, the point here is we're killing King Gordok so you can, like, get Ace of Warlords. So I'd rather not use the item that Ace of Warlords becomes in order to get the Ace of... Like, that would be weird. Also, if you're ever struggling with some of these solos, like, I'm using very minimal consumables, you can gain a lot of character power if you just drink a mongoose or a honey badger, a firewater, a giants, or you bring, like, you know, the easy to get world buffs and you just unboon them. Right, okay. Let's try sapping Cho Rush, and we'll still use free action potion. If Cho Rush is not sappable, we will just kill Cho Rush and then try to vanish. That'll be the plan. Ready, set. Yep, immune. Kicked. Stunned. Knocked back. That's not good. Lost some damage time there. Well, we're not really in danger yet, so let's keep going. And if we get in danger, we can vanish. But as of now, we kind of took out Cho Rush and we're pretty much fine. Now we're sustaining. We could get stunned. Yeah, there, we just got stunned. My free action. Whoa! Hold. This is a big hit. Come on, heal back up. If I get stunned again, I'm probably dead. Nice. There we go. So, yeah, if you wanted to make that a little safer, kill Cho Rush, vanish, heal up, get ready to go again, then kill Gordok on his own. When in doubt, zerg it out. Indeed. Let's see, what's the loot we got? Cho Rush's blade, 5 gold, 38 silver. 3 tarnished undermine reels, some rune cloth. There's 1 gold, 78. Band of the Ogre King. And Mizzle the Crafty is here. So he gave me the king buff. Big pog damage. And he's gonna give me the tribute.
Hey, have a good one.
Yo, huge bagel enjoyer. Thank you very much for 6 months of support. Says, hey, have a good one. Well, I am having a good day so far. We're going to do a bunch of rogue solo stuff like this. And then we're going to do Nax Ramus in a little under 4 hours. All right, now we have major healing potions, something I just didn't have prepared before. That was it. That was a shitty tribute. We only killed... So if we killed Gordok without killing Cho Rush, it would have been a perfect tribute. But because we killed Cho Rush, we got a slightly worse tribute chest. Everyone else was skipped. Bet you can't even solo Dead Mines? I soloed Dead Mines in Season of Discovery at level 24 in Phase 1. Thank you very much. And there's video evidence of me doing it. Solo Baron mount? Yeah, we'll get to that, I think. Alright, I'm gonna grab the Ogre Tannin basket. This is gonna give me a Ogre Tannin. This is good for creating the Gordok Ogre suit, which normally is only used within Dire Maul to skip Crom Crush or whatever. We just stealth past him, is not important, but what you can also do is you can just use the Ogre suit anywhere to look like a giant fat ogre for 10 minutes, and it's really funny. It does also slightly increase your melee attack range compared to not being an ogre. Alright, let's get the buff from Slip Kick. Yes. There was a time before this was nerfed in Burning Crusade. One of the bosses in Sunwell... Oh, shit, I forgot about these fuckers. Vanished. Yeah, those fuckers are still hostile. I maybe could have fought them, but why fight them when you can just vanish? Right, I was in the middle of my Burning Crusade story. One of the raids was called Sunwell, and one of the bosses was called Felmist, which is like an undead dragon. And she had an air phase, or he, I'm not sure. Felmist had an air phase. And she would fly up above the ground and, like, do shit for a while, and the melee damage dealers could not hit her. But in Burning Crusade, all your, like, size increasing effects also slightly increased your melee attack range. So there were actually like 5 or 6 different effects you could get at once to make your character really, really big. And the sum total of all of that meant that as a melee damage dealer, you could attack Felmist during the air phase of that boss. So it became basically a requirement if you're trying to like do a high performance or fast kill of the boss to have all your melee damage dealers transformed into either ogres or taurens and having like 4 or 5 different size increasing effects rolling on themselves. And it was even worse because the way you got most of those effects was oh, I forgot to look for some of the treasure chests. And we won't go back for them. There's at least one treasure chest that it spawns, I think, in every instance. And once you have King buff, you can just go through it. Aside from the insects, those still attack you. And you can just loot it, and that's a treasure chest, so that's cool. Right. Yeah, the giant meta from Burning Crusade, like 3 of the size increasing effects came from one item that you had to like bug out to stack them. It was a teleporter, much like Ultra Safe Teleporter Gadgetzan, but it was like the TBC version. Would put random debuffs on you that lasted like 2 hours when you used it. And when you used it, if you Alt F4 exited the game right as the cast completed, it would not initiate the cooldown of the item, but it would have a chance to give you one of those random debuffs. So the melee damage dealers would sit around before the raid, spamming their transporter, Alt F4ing out of the game to try to stack up multiple of these debuffs at once. And it was incredibly degenerate. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is worth more than 10 silver volatile rum. I'm really banking on that, otherwise that's a bad pickup. I know Dirge is kicking Chimerock Chops, the 25 stamina food. Uses Goblin Rocket Fuel, which uses volatile rum. I'm just assuming my auction house data for the price of volatile rum is extremely outdated. Alright, there we go. We got our world buffs. Let's open up the Chrono Boom. Put the buffs back in the bottle with all the other Chrono Boomer buffs. Perfect. Image in your Discord general chat with the invasion trial while using server arms, 6-piece tier 3, 2-piece tier 1. Excellent. I would like to see that. Let me see. Actually, let me pull out of this Dire Maul. We can be done with that. And then we'll do Dire Maul East next. I'd say that was a successful run. I think it's actually good when I fail during the run and then like talk about how I failed or why I failed and how to prevent that, rather than like having a run that's perfect with no failures. I think it makes for more informative. Okay, these are all my setups for invasion boosting from before. Here's general chat. Electric discharge 2.3%. Holy, okay, this gear is like almost identical to mine. This is good gear. Wind Striker, Heroism, Mark of the Champion. I don't know if this is Veclor's ring or Karaji Fury ring, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces tier. That looks like your 2-piece tier 1 right there. I can't see the runes on here, but you said this is, if it's using 2-piece tier 1, then it's definitely using Flesh Wound. And I would guess you put Occult Poison manually on one of these weapons. There's no instant poison damage. Yeah, holy shit. Does this have, like, maybe it has, like, an internal cooldown or something. That's extremely low percentage of your damage output for electric discharge. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for showing me this, because I didn't know exactly how this would go. I kind of assumed it would be really good. Look at the Warcraft logs profile. Oh, let me see. Warcraft logs will have, like, the most recent gear the person raided with, which is not the gear that's being used here. Yeah, this is completely different gear. Yeah, okay. So maybe servo arm not as good as I thought. Maybe it's more of a Gressel angle. Gressel does have, like, reduced chance for your attacks to be parried, which is very good here. A lot of your Fan of Knives attacks get parried and dodged. Gressel has 10 agility on it. It's a 3.0 speed weapon. It's slow as fuck. So maybe it's a Gressel angle and not a misplaced servo arm angle. I'm hoping today in the Nax that we do, if I get the boot token, I will be able to... Oh, shit, I lost my king buff. I should have vendored the crap at Stomper Kreeg. Before leaving. All I did was buy his volatile rum. Druid? AFK? Suspect. Alright, I'm destroying this pocket lint. And this. Kill angle? No, we're just gonna zone in and, you know, live our own life. I think I'll go with the heroism card. Felt like my healing was, like, a little low. Remy says, did you see my message? My internet died. Let me scroll up. What was the last Remy message I got? You were joining AQ40 and you were trying to wonder what items you should grab. Yeah, I would go for the tier pieces. The Kiraji Bindings of Sovereignty, the Intact Viscera, and the Skin of the Old God. They're pretty common drops, so you're likely to see them, and they give you very strong items. Alright, we're here at the start of Dire Maul East, and we're going to try to do a solo jump run on Rogue. And for this run, there's one, like, special requirement, is Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector as an engineer to reflect a shadow spell, or if you're not an engineer, you can get Lotheb's Reflection is another trinket that allows you to reflect all types of spells, but most importantly, shadow spells. It'll make the first boss in here much, much easier. And the goal in doing a Dire Maul East jump run is to access the rich thorium veins that come at the end of the instance. If you have mining, you can mine those, and because, you know, the tier 3 rings take 10 arcane crystals, well, arcane crystals are pretty dang valuable these days. This character doesn't have mining, but I want to just show the possibility of doing this run. So if you are a character who does have mining, you could give it a try yourself. Anyways, this room, there's a lot of crisscrossing patrols. We just kind of jump down, and then we got to go to the southeast corner of the room, this end of the patrol. We don't want to, or path, I mean, we don't want to aggro any of these patrols, so I gotta kind of swivel my camera a lot, make sure I can see what's going on. Alternatively, you can just kind of run along the walls. You take a bit of a longer route, but you don't really bump into any potential mob patrols. Anyways, we're using 4-piece Bloodfang tanking set. That gets me the double your armor 4-piece bonus. You can get this from Tarnished Undermine Reels, so very easy to get. We've got 4-piece Death Dealer tanking set from Temple of Ahn'Qiraj. Definitely harder to get, but that is not current content anymore. There's nothing I'm going to be using today from Nax Rammus. I've got the Filcher's Cowlon and Clobber Club from Karazhan is like the newest item that I'm actually using. This section is going to have these stealth guys that you're going to want to kill. They might surprise you, but if you can see them ahead of time, you can surprise them. And they're great to stun. They can put a really nasty poison on you. So if you just stun them and don't give them the chance to make that happen, then you're good. Boom, just like that. Back. Oh, whoops, there's another one. It's going to go back into stealth and, like, keep cruising. Anyways, what's healing me is the 4-piece Death Dealer bonus, making it so I heal for 15% of the damage dealt by Sinister Strike. I'm also getting some healing from the Dark Moon card Heroism from the Warlords deck. Just before this run, we did a Dire Maul North solo. The last boss of Dire Maul North is the one that drops the Ace of Warlords, so if you don't already have this, you can solo farm it. At least the Ace you can solo farm. The other cards are usually very cheap. I wouldn't, I'd just buy those. Ace can be pretty expensive sometimes. Right, so 4-piece Death Dealer from Temple of Ahn'Qiraj. If you don't have that already, you can take the 4-piece bonus that's called Bloodthirsty and put that on your shoulder to provide the healing. But it really works better if you have these items. If you only have 2 pieces of them, then you can still put the 4-piece bonus on your shoulder. But because I have the 4-piece bonus straight away, I can put Butcher on my shoulder, which increases my Sinister Strike damage by 20%. And since my healing is based off the damage I do with Sinister Strike, that's also improving my healing and survivability. Here's another one of these idiots. Let's just knock them out real quick. The majority of the gear is tank gear. Outside of those tier sets I talked about, we got Ring of Emperor Veclor, Onyxia Talisman, Master Dragon Slayer Medallion. I would say this gear definitely takes some effort to assemble, but, none of it's from Nax Rammus. It's all, older phase gear. It's not terribly difficult to assemble, I would say. Whoops, not that one. Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector is what we're going to do. So the reason we want this item for this boss is his nastiest, most dangerous ability is called Sacrifice. It's a 1-second cast time. And what it'll do is it'll teleport you onto this altar and you'll be stunned for 8 seconds straight and take shadow damage. And since you're the only one here, the boss will also be attacking you. If you think you're going to get hit by Sacrifice or you're having trouble, you can do a Greater Shadow Protection potion to try to absorb some of that damage. But really, the main play is avoiding it in some way. And there's a couple ways you can do that. If you have any trinket that summons a combat pet, like maybe you have the Battle Chicken from Nomergon, you can have that out. And then you can just vanish as soon as he casts Sacrifice at you. The chicken will keep him in combat, or whatever other combat pet will keep him in combat, so he won't reset. But the vanish will cancel the Sacrifice cast. That's a little more convoluted. You can also try to move out of line of sight right when he starts casting it. But because it's such a fast cast, that's really difficult to do successfully. It is possible. By far, the easiest way to handle the Sacrifice ability is a Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector, or like I mentioned at the start of the run, Lotheb's Reflection can be used by anyone. You don't have to be an engineer. That drops in Nax Rammus. It's another Spell Reflect. He's not going to sacrifice himself, but it's going to stop the sacrifice from going on you, and that's really what's important here. Warlords card come from the bag of cards from the vendor in Felwood. No, those were the Phase 3 cards, the level 50 cards. Warlords is one of the level 60 cards. So the random Warlord pieces just drop off random high-level enemies. New meta 1 poison. Well, while I'm soloing, I have Deadly Brew up. Every time I put a poison on a weapon, it means that poison won't trigger instant poison from Deadly Brew anymore, because Deadly Brew says, you know, it triggers instant poison if it doesn't already have a poison applied. So I would like most of my weapons to trigger instant poison, but Sebaceous Poison is valuable enough that I say, okay, we'll run Sebaceous Poison. Big armor debuff off of that. Now, anyways, the part I have to lock in for here is, like, I have to react very quickly. I have to put Shadow Reflector up within 1 second of him starting to cast Sacrifice. So it's possible I just make a mistake and die. But let's give it a send here and see what we can do. That's not sacrifice. That is. Okay, he teleported himself. Okay, I remembered him not sacrificing himself, but it seems like he did sacrifice himself. I thought that would not happen. That was pretty funny. I like that. Okay, so he's dead. We got Satyr's Bow. That'll vendor for something. And once this boss is dead, it allows you to go talk to the tree guy out in that other room that we already walked through and have him open the way to the last boss. So we can double back this way. Barov Peasant Color can work too. Yep, absolutely. Any for that strategy where you, like, summon a combat pet that aids you in battle, like, you could use Dog Whistle from Scarlet Monastery, you could use, like, a Mechanical Yeti, you could use, like, literally any combat pet. You just need something that will keep the boss in combat after you vanish, so he doesn't reset. And then you can use Vanish to avoid the sacrifice as well. We'll let these guys go first instead of try to butt in front of them. Alright, so you talk to him. It's kind of hard to, like, keep an eye on everything around here. Re-enter stealth, make sure you're not aggroing anything. He's gonna walk slowly over to this door, then burst it down, and then we can get through. Target dummy would work also. Yep, you could go target dummy too. I think you could actually get a Thornling. I think that would work too. They come from these Warpwood pods in Dire Maul. There's a couple of you, 2 on screen right now. Each of these Warpwood pods, you walk up to it, like, randomly. Sometimes it will just, like, explode and poison you. Other times it'll summon a bunch of small lasher dudes that attack you, and when it doesn't do either of those things, then it is lootable, and you can loot Thornling seeds off of it, which are just these, like, little items. You click it, and it, like, plants a plant down that just, like, you know, grows and, like, attracts the attention of, basically like a target dummy, kind of like a target dummy. I don't think it actually does a proper taunt, the Thornling, but it just does some, like, AoE threat type of thing. Okay, now this boss, you don't even have to fully kill it. You just have to fight it until the door at the end breaks open. The thing over there, hang on. Then I believe you can just vanish, but I might have, like, a damage over time on me that I would be unhappy about, and then then it'd be screwed. Right, I don't remember exactly what this guy does. I think he puts a nature damage over time on you, so you could use a greater nature protection potion if you wanted to. I'm just going to keybind some major healing potion, and my plan is going to be to drag him back to this spot on the wall, which is the spot that, like, breaks down when he gets low, and then a bunch of imps come out, and then my plan is also going to be to not fight those imps, and just vanish. I want to drag, like, into the tunnel first and then vanish, because I think that's going to improve my odds of, like, having things actually reset and not screwing me up. I also want to save my sprint for that, and I also want to unequip my Shadow Reflector. I don't need my Shadow Reflector anymore. So, let's go. This guy is actually hurting me quite a lot. Ooh, I don't have evasion? Can I stun him? Okay, well, I am dead. But these imps are all running out and the rich thorium vein is there. I think I shouldn't have tried to drag the boss. Maybe I should have... The boss... So what's going to happen? I'm going to run back in there. I'm not going to fight the boss. I'm just going to stealth into the exit area. But I'm thinking about... Like, if I was trying to farm this for arcane crystals, how would I do it differently than that? Can't use Fetish there? Oh, yeah, you could absolutely use Fetish of the Sand Reaver. That would be a good one. I don't have it on this character, though. Fetish of the Sand Reaver would be a great way to drop yourself out of combat there. So, like, as soon as the wall broke open, I would press Fetish of the Sand... I would press Sprint, then I would press Fetish of the Sand Reaver, then I'd just run as deep into the tunnel as I could, wait till the Fetish buff was, like, about to fade, and then vanish over there. That would be great. You could use the Resurrection Dark Moon card. That's actually a superb tip, and that's another item I don't have either. It's way easier to get than Fetish of the Sand Reaver. If you had Dark Moon card Twisting Nether, you'd be able to do this very consistently, even if this boss killed you. Let me show it. Dark Moon card. The Season of Discovery version of this item has a 100% chance to trigger when you die and just has a 3-minute cooldown. So it's basically a soul stone for yourself with a 3-minute cooldown. It's actually a crazy powerful item. But it doesn't have like a whole lot of great usage. A lot of like high-end guilds were using this when they were progressing hard mode Naxxramas. Like having everyone in the raid have a soul stone, so like if they died to some spike damage during a progression kill, that was like super powerful. It was really good. Now we have high enough ranks of Seal of the Dawn that like no one does that anymore because, you know, whatever. But yeah, it would function wonderfully here. Like if I had that equipped for that fight, like I would have died deep in the tunnel. I'd just wait till the imps run away, and then it'd just be GG. You know, we're good after that. Resurrect, keep going. Let's eat a little bit of food. Oh, I could also slow fall down, and then I wouldn't take fall damage. I was trying to get a bunch of health so that I didn't die to the fall damage, because it's a bit of a long jump. Now, we don't have to go all the way over that way. The door we want to go to is just right here. So the run back after dying here is not that bad. So, yeah, my two recommendations for ways to make this more consistent are Dark Moon card Twisting Nether, absolutely. And if you've got it, Fetish of the Sand Reaver would help escaping after the, like, door is open. And that boss, honestly, the boss just dealt more damage to me than I expected. I didn't think he was going to be that hard. And as it is with all these solos, if the thing is just too hard, you can gain a lot of character power from popping 10 gold worth of consumables, you know, a honey badger, a firewater, a giants, a food buff is a lot of power, and will make these things smoother. Or, you know, if you don't have gear as good as mine, you know, you can pop consumables to compensate some of that. You can pop easy to get world buffs from your Chrono Boon Displacer, like if you just went and soloed Dire Maul North, like I showed we could do, then you've got Dire Maul North buffs. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of power you can gain to make these easier if you're having trouble. Alright, here. Should just be able to sneak past this guy and then mine those nodes. I don't have mining on this character, though. We're just going in to show that it's possible. Sprint towards the cave wall that cracks and vanish right when the boss hits 50%. Yeah, I was waiting till it was, like, visually open, but it had some, like, graphical effect going, and I wasn't sure if I could actually get into the cave until that, like, animation had finished. Maybe you can get through earlier. Sometimes that bugs out imps and they don't even spawn. That sounds wonderful. But here, this is the prize at the end of the instance. There's at least 2, sometimes 3, rich thorium veins as you exit this instance. Now, whether this is the most efficient way to find rich thorium veins or not, I don't know. I would actually guess that it's not. But, like, if you're having trouble with open world farming, this is instanced farming, so, like, you know, you don't have to deal with any competition or anyone killing you on a PvP server or anything like that. It's, at the very least, it's consistent. So that's it. Dire Maul East on Rogue.